Hey, Grim family, welcome to another episode of Community Update. We're going to talk about all that's going on right now, about Grim Syndicate, about the upcoming airdrops going. That's Lordrym's workshop. That's Lurkers of the Abyss. We got a lot to cover tonight, so I'm going to go ahead and just jump right in. Awesome. So let's start with some new information about Lordrym's workshop, because we had some information that went out last week that a snapshot was taken. We gave you all a heads up about that. And so we do have the actual airdrop happening this week. Cool thing about that, if we're asking when, it's within the next 48 hours. So it's really exciting. We're really pumped about this one coming out. This has been obviously a labor of love. Everything we do is a labor of love. But for this one specifically, we have been so thrilled about the potential that Lordrym's is going to provide. So tonight, I thought it'd be fun to kind of talk a little bit more about some of the details, about what we kind of have planned for some of these things. Now, that isn't everything. We're not going to share everything that we have planned, because there are still some things, number one, that we do want to have for surprises. Number two, when you're building a project like this, sometimes the practicality is like, we have big ideas, and those big ideas need to be fully vetted. We need to make sure we're going in the right direction on something. We need to make sure it's technically feasible. It's the right decision for the community. We need to make sure that it's the workload that we can take on, and we need to have a path forward for it. The last thing we ever want to do is announce something and not be able to deliver. So again, we are going to keep some of these things tight to the chest, but I do want to share some of the things that we have planned for Lordrym's workshop. Awesome. So real quick, let's talk about the Rarity System, because when these things roll out, when you get your ingredients this week, you're going to maybe be wondering, what is this Rarity System that I can see with some of these things? So let's go ahead and showcase what you might expect here. Now we have a common. This is, the most common. You've got uncommon. You've got rare, that's the gold one with the little star right there. You've got legendary, which is kind of the moon and the star there, kind of that purple one. And you've got mythic. Mythic is all wild and basically synth wavy, because I love it. And then you've also got this other one called unique. Now, the details in all these, they're all pretty much just, they get more rare as you go. If you've played a game, you've probably heard of this concept. The only one that stands out here is unique. And unique is tied to something a little bit different. Typically, it's tied to a specific something being met, a requirement being met. And I won't say everything about that yet. But I do want you to understand a little bit about what that system looks like, because when these are dropped, you're going to be able to associate the specific ingredient you have with the rarity as it kind of follows the markers right there. Now, some of the mechanics that I want to highlight, again, we won't share everything, but I do want to talk about a couple things that you can expect. Okay, first statement I want to make very clear. Grims have been and will continue to be the foundation of Grim Syndicate. So holding a Grim, being a part of that's really kind of how we see kind of the ticket in for a lot of these experiences. That means that one Grim, especially for this airdrop, is going to mean that's one ingredient. And going forward, you're going to see that continue to play out. In order to qualify for Lordrym's workshop ingredient drops, you need to be holding that Grim. The Grim's got to be in your wallet. And if you meet that requirement, okay, great. That could mean an ingredient for you. Now, that being said, I do want to make sure that I announce that some drops are going to go to all holders. So that means we've got 100% possibility that you're going to get a specific ingredient, or not a specific, you're going to get an ingredient. And maybe for each one, there's 10 different ones it might be able to be. And you're going to get an ingredient. Now, which one, you'll see when that drop happens. Sometimes some drops are going to be random. So it might be like, hey, there's a 60% chance that your Grim had a drop when we did a drop here. So go ahead and check and see what your wallet, see if you've got something there. Now, for some drops, traits are going to matter. So that means maybe you have a Grim that's, got, let's say, Tesla coils on their head. There could be specific drops that happen for Grims that have this specific trait. Maybe you've got a Grim with a bow. Maybe there's a specific ingredient that is being dropped to all Grims with a bow. Now, for some drops, character type is going to matter. So that means you have an ancient. there's an ancient ingredient that's going to go out here. Or a demon, there's an infernal ingredient that kind of goes out there. Again, this is just a bit of the mechanics. I understand there's not all the meat that's on this bone here being exposed, but I do want to let you know that these things are going to matter in this build process. And we're really, really excited about what the potential looks like for thinking up all of the ingredients that align to specific traits, specific characters, and how to make it really fun and exciting. It's just been a really, really fun system to build out. And we have so much concept art and stuff that we've already started working on. And we obviously have the drop that's going out now, which is already done. And I think once you see what it looks like and how it works, you're going to see it's a little bit different than what you've maybe experienced or seen from us in the past. And that is really, really thrilling for us. We'll talk a little bit about the utility. Not everything, but a little bit about it. Okay, what will workshop ingredients do in the Grim universe? Now, there are a few things that I'll outline that they can do. Know that there are more on the way that we're obviously, as I mentioned before, thinking about, exploring, but we do want to announce some of the things that we know are going to happen here. Okay, lore drops. Each ingredient is going to have additional information about what this specific item is within the universe, as well as some potentially helpful flavor text about maybe what it could be used for. So Lacunar Leech is one of them that's going to be dropping. You can see here we've got some information that goes along with it. It's a parasitic worm that feeds on void matter and anything else unlucky enough to stand between it and a meal. And you may know void matter because that is what our beloved Grims are animated by. Lacunar leeches are the only known organism to produce salt, a rare mineral that can be used to induce a trance-like state. So at this point, yeah, maybe you don't know all that has to, and maybe you're not sure what it has to, and that's okay. But as we continue fleshing out this universe, we have a lot planned for the story of these things, and you may see some of these ingredients used in the story. So look out for that with your specific ingredients. We're also, we've talked about demon upgrade, and we haven't really given details on that, but essentially Lurkers of the Abyss is going to introduce demons into the Grim universe. These new characters can be combined with workshop ingredients to upgrade them. This will affect the way that they look and the gear that they possess. And I'm going to say a little tight-lipped for now, especially because we'll have a little bit we'll go over in the next section. Now, you can also combine ingredients. So combining some workshop ingredients is going to create new, more powerful or rarer ingredients that may be used for other things. Maybe that could be paired with the demon that's looking for a specific kind of combination in these kinds of things. And so these are sort of the things to be able to look out for. We also have plans to have new guest artists. Upcoming workshop ingredients with special edition variants are going to feature principal art from featured guest artists. So this is a way for us to work with artists that we love and admire, and essentially what you could be seeing, and it will not be a part of this initial drop, but the plans are already in motion to ensure that some of the future drops that we have planned, you might have, like, let's say that void matter vial is an ingredient. Well, there's the standard one that you're going to get in the set, but if you're a collector or if you just want a certain kind, there's also going to be variant versions of these that could exist. So you'll see there's a void matter vial. There's also a void matter vial variant art 1, variant art 2. And so we'll be working with other artists to come up with really cool riffs on what that could look like. And we absolutely love being able to do these things, because to us, that's sort of like what I loved about collecting comic books, was collecting some of the different variant covers of some of them. We are also not going to outline everything, but just so you know, we are cosmetic alterations for Grims could very well exist. Have you ever thought about perhaps changing a Grim specific trait in a certain way? Maybe just the way it looks to do something a little different. It's a crazy idea, I know. But what if such a thing could exist? Who knows? Who knows? I'm just throwing it out there. What if? But it probably will. That is not all the things, because of course there's more, but we're not yet ready to say all these things because a lot of them still need a lot of vetting. We still need to talk with the leadership team. We still need to talk to the community about some of these implications, but there are some very big things that we have planned. As we continue to build, it is our intention to build out a universe that is fully formed with great narrative, great story, but ultimately really exciting ways to interact and get involved in it, to do really fun things. The goal is not just to have a PFP or a piece of art that floats in hyperspace forever, just sitting in the metaverse, just as a static image. We want this to be an experience we continue to build more and more to do in this universe. And we are so thrilled about what the future of that looks like. And it has been wild already, even just to ideate and be able to come up with some of these kinds of things. Okay, that's going to do it for some of that potential utility that we've talked about. Let's talk about scheduling. When I say scheduling, I just mean a quick timeline. We gave you the initial snapshot that happened last week. We've got the initial ingredient airdrop that's happening in the next 48 hours, which means that's our first round of getting ingredients into people's hands, getting it so that you can take a look at what you got and see kind of what's going on in the universe. But I want to make sure you know that for the next airdrops that we are planning from Lordrym's workshop, we will not be giving the heads up on some of these. They will be unannounced. Now, we will let you know when an airdrop has happened. We'll let folks know, hey, check your wallets, to kind of see what may have happened from, what may have transpired last night for what kind of drops went out there. We do that because we want to make sure that people don't get random stuff in their wallet, open it up, and it's, something nefarious in there. So we'll always try and let you know what they are. We'll also try to be upfront and offer some clarity on what objects have dropped. We'll try to offer that information as we go so that if you were able to get lucky enough to get some of them that are on the rarer ones, or just so you know what you have. And so we'll continue to keep a running log of the ingredients that exist. So look forward to hearing a little bit more about that. Prepare for some of those unannounced drops. Again, that's got to make sure that it's in your wallet and it's in there. And there are some extra surprises. I have not detailed everything that you're going to experience at Lordrym's workshop, obviously, but I haven't even told you everything that's going to happen in the next 48 hours with the current drop that's going out, which is really, really exciting. There's a couple surprises and secrets along the way that I think are going to be really, really exciting for those of you who are lucky enough to get some of these things. And so it's going to be a really cool time. I'm really thrilled, as you can tell, as both an artist and a collector. Building this universe has been the frickin' stuff of dreams, and it's been amazing. Okay. Let's jump over really quick to Lurkers of the Abyss, some things that are going on over there. Obviously, we've been busy with some of these things. We made the announcement that each demon airdropped will be a unique base demon that you're going to combine with your Lordrym's workshop ingredients to alter and upgrade. Now, I can't tell you everything that's going to do, because there is still a lot that we are excited about the future of when it comes to how the demons are going to be used, but we still need to continue vetting the process of all the wonderful things that it's going to do. But we do know that our ingredients are going to add gear, different cosmetics to your demon as you continue to sort of level up and build this demon. So even the base demon is still going to be unique, but you're going to make it even more unique with the ingredients that you're adding there, with the gear you're adding to your demon, which is very exciting for us. I am so excited to see not even just what you start with your demon, but what your demons end up looking like as you continue to experiment with some of these kinds of things. I know we haven't shown art in a little bit. We teased out this one, but I figured, you know what? We haven't shown it. So why don't we show the umbral demon that exists from Lurkers of the Abyss? Here you go. We know how much people love hoods in the Grim Syndicate. So this right here is the umbral demon. It is composed of shadow. It's got this really wild hood, and it's a really cool, I don't know. I love it. I want to have a conversation. This kind of feels like the character who, in Ocarina of Time, I would go to, turn my ghosts into, after I've been looking for them out in the field, my big pose. And so anyhow, I really love the Umbral Demon. Very, very, very fun. As you can see here, the 6 demons that we've shown so far, and there are more on the way, as it turns out, which is going to be very, very exciting. As you can tell, there is a lot more, uniqueness with the bases of the demons. There are different kinds of demons, and that is something that is very different and unique to the demons, aside from just the Grims. And then, of course, with the whole upgrading system using Lordrym's workshop, you're going to be changing them even more, which is really, really exciting for us. I'm excited for people to see what kind of demons they get, figure out some of their favorites, and see what they want to invest in with the demons. So it's going to be a really fun time. Okay, real quick, let's talk about the Grim DAO. And I want to make sure you know this, because I know a lot of people have not been a part of DAOs before. And so I want to make sure that you understand as a Grim holder that your voice matters. Now, you are a part of this community, which we love, but ultimately holding a Grim gets you access to this Grim DAO to be a part of the things that are happening, using your vote to change the very course of what we're investing in, of the kinds of initiatives we're taking part in. And so there's this idea of governance. There's a document that outlines some of the information here. And what you need to know is, what is governance? The Grim DAO governance document is a framework for how we will elect officers, I will choose projects to fund out of the community wallet that we've set aside these finances for. And again, there's money in there that is waiting to be used by the community deciding what they want to invest in, which is really, really exciting. And you get to be a part of it. It is a really, really big deal. And we're so excited to invite you into this space to do these wonderful things with us collectively, to be able to have the representation and the leadership that you want to see in these spaces. So please be a part of what is being built here. This is a big deal. Now that current the governor's proposal is live. To vote, you can need to visit https://app.squads.io. And it's like the, condensed version or the internet version of it. Anyhow, just know it is there. We would love to have your voice in these things. And I think you're going to see it's a really big deal for you to be a part of something like this. And it's an incredible way to get involved in the community and really shaping the direction of what it looks like. Real quick merch update before we leave. This is the last thing I'm going to say. There are hoodies now on the shop, so get in there. Get some hoodies for yourself. I know we had a lot of people that were asking about that, and so we wanted to make sure that we had some available for folks. So get in there, check them out, rep that Grim pride out and about on the streets. That is going to be at merch.grimsyndicate.com, where you can see all kinds of stuff like shirts. We've got mugs, and we've got more stuff that's going to be coming as well, which is really, really exciting. That's going to do it for me tonight. I know there was a lot of stuff. We're going to continue to make sure that you have the information available. Thank you for being a part of Grim Syndicate. It is an honor and a pleasure that we get to do this. This project freaking rules. This community rules. And there is so many exciting things on the way that I cannot wait to continue to explore, to launch, and to do it with all of you. That's the coolest part. So thanks for being a part. Have an amazing night. Have a great week, and looking forward to hearing from all of y'all.